Alrighty, people. How you living? How you feeling? Great to have y'all here on the stream. Just checking through these messages now. Got some messages on the site. Got some questions on the site. We appreciate y'all for being here with us. Good stream upcoming. Couple players that kind of popped up as inactives in practice that were, a little bit of a surprise. We'll talk through that. Just get you guys prepared for all scenarios this week. The beginning of your championship run, if you're out there and watching this. Speak it into life. Do appreciate y'all for being here with us. Hit that like button as today's stream begins. Got a like goal today of 50 likes. With your help, I know we can do it. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about here as far as, news updates.
Yeah.
But if you are out there and you want to prioritize your question, you can do that through the website. Anytime we go live, if there are ever questions on our website, it's the first place we'll go to answer people's questions. So if you want to prioritize your question, that's the way to do it. And while you're over there, if you don't have a free account, you can get a free account with our promo code LAND. And then you get some of those premium tools for free, which is cool. All right, let's have a look at news before we jump into everything. Kenneth Walker is not practicing again. It seems like a true 50-50 chance at this point, whether he plays or not. Yeah, no real indication at this point. It's Bucky Irving didn't practice again Wednesday, so that is a little bit concerning. They said that they saw him participating in practice, but then later on they actually swapped that up and said actually no, he didn't practice. Bill Belichick is becoming the head coach for the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Is that confirmed?
It's confirmed. Yeah, it is officially official.
I don't know. I saw a thing this morning when I woke up, and I was like, oh, it's still going to be finalized. So I didn't know if it was legit.
They finalized it. It's all done and dusted. I am a little bit surprised that he's going to college ball, but
I'm surprised as well.
I guess if no one in the NFL is taking the bait, not that he's bait, by the way, but no one's interested, then I guess he still wants to coach. That's where he would go. Again, I'm shocked that he wants to go to the ACC. Nothing against North Carolina, but just seems like I'm sure there's a connection. I don't understand what the connection is.
He must know something.
There's a connection.
Who's the quarterback over there next year? Is there a quarterback? Somebody upcoming?
It's a good question.
What's happening?
He must know. Lai McConkey limited in practice. I mean, that's a great sign, but he was limited all last week, so I'm not sure how much it really says at this point. I definitely thought he would play last week, and he did not. Tony Pollard doesn't practice Wednesday with that ankle injury. If Tony Pollard ended up missing some time, Tajay Spears would end up being one of the better handcuffs in the fantasy playoffs, considering their schedule, which is Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Jacksonville in the playoffs. So definitely worth stashing in case Tony Pollard misses time. Isaac Orindo is questionable for Thursday. I think he got a limited participation in, which is great. Breece Hall did not practice. I think it's leaning towards him not playing.
Yeah, agreed.
So we'll have to kind of follow up on that. The interim head coach for the Saints on Chris Olave, if he'll return this season, they say all options are on the table, but apparently he's not coming back this year or this week. Seems like he probably won't come back this year. George Pickens doesn't practice Wednesday with that hamstring injury. No surprise there. This was a bit weird. Romeo Doubs fully practiced Wednesday, but he was still in concussion protocol. I don't know how that's even possible, but all right. Yep, that makes sense. Alexander Madison is going to be active, but Sincere McCormick is going to remain the RB1. I've been kind of pushing Sincere McCormick for about 3 weeks now. I think a lot of people didn't take it serious because it's the Raiders. I think a lot of people didn't take it serious because all these guys were injured. But, he balled out every time he touched the ball, and he just kept getting more and more opportunities. And the schedule is incredible for Sincere McCormick in the playoffs. And if they keep giving him opportunities and he keeps producing, I mean, there could be some sneaky value there. You got Jacksonville and New Orleans in week 16 and 17. I promise you, there are plenty of playoff teams that are going to start a worse option than that in week 16 and 17. Okay, Tommy DeVito starting for the Giants. I didn't see that. That is new.
Yeah, apparently Drew Lock's in a boot, so.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Noah Brown's going to be out a while. The Commanders did pick up KJ Osborne, who the Patriots waived. Cedric Tillman's going to practice, so he probably will play. Dalton Kincaid fully practiced on Wednesday. He's probably going to play. Josh Downs practiced. This was the surprise of the day, I'd say, so far. David Njoku with the hamstring injury didn't practice Wednesday, so that's something to monitor. Funnily enough, I released my nuclear video, and then, out of nowhere, David Njoku doesn't practice, which was sick. He was on that video. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Anything else?
No, I think that's it as well. Nothing on my end. But
all right, let's get to these questions.
Oh boy.
Again, if you guys want to prioritize your questions, you can do that through our website. When we're done on the website, we'll come over to YouTube. We appreciate y'all for being here. Do us a favor, hit that like button and show some love. Got a like goal today of 50 likes. With your help, I know we can do it. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate your constant support. Let's start with Mellow BR. All right, yeah. And they have a start sit here. It's Hurts, Chase Brown, Gibbs, Tyreek, Puka. And really, the tight end spot is what they need help with, it looks like. Based off the way they set their lineup, I mean, wow. I mean, their flex options, full of options. But what are you thinking here? Tucker Kraft or Cade Otton? Where do you lean?
I'm going to go Cade Otton here.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just want a part of that offense still. And it should be a tough game with the Chargers. So I think they're going to try to throw the ball a little bit more. I think, with Romeo Doubs coming back, what's that going to mean for Tucker Kraft if he does play? So I'm just going to go Cade Otton there.
Yeah, the Romeo Doubs narrative is fair. But man, that Cade Otton, that little streak he was on, it was very short-lived, and it's tough to kind of digest exactly what his value is on a week-to-week basis now.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's a little difficult. I think I would lean Tucker Kraft there. I mean, Cade Otton in his last 4 games, 3 of those have been under 10 points. He's averaging under 10 points. I'll lean Tucker Kraft. I just think there's more touchdown upside, but it is very, very close. So that's our rationale behind both of our takes, and hopefully, one of those you resonate more with. At the flex spot, are you starting Davante Adams? Are you starting Garrett Wilson? Are you starting Bucky Irving if he plays? What if Bucky doesn't play? Is Rashad not the best? I mean, there's way too many options here. What do you think?
Yeah, there is a lot of options. I think it depends on what you need. If you need a high upside, I think you can go with either of, the Jets wide receivers. But if you need just safety, safe floor, and Bucky Irving does play, you can go Bucky Irving. I mean, hell, you can even go Braylon Allen if Breece Hall doesn't play, if you just need that safe floor. So it just really depends. I mean, right now, Davante Adams is kind of producing that safe floor in the past couple weeks. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's been pretty consistent ever since he's kind of been acclimated to this offense.
He and Garrett Wilson are both getting consistent targets. It's just one player pops off and the other doesn't. So
yeah, exactly. So
difficult to project. So are you sticking with Adams here, you're saying?
Yeah, I will stick with Adams here because I'm okay with what he's been doing the past couple weeks. And if Bucky plays, I think, once again, that's still a safe place. But he is dealing with that injury, so might as well just play it safe with Davante Adams.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I am concerned that there's potentially a scenario where they don't need these receivers, but let's be honest, the Jets have found a way to make every game a game where they need receivers.
Yeah.
It's a tough call, though. All right, Big Boy Crispy here is next. He says need help. Lots of players with bad matchups. So he's got Josh Allen at the running back position. I mean, straight off the bat for me, you're not going to sit Kyren Williams. After that, I don't believe you're going to sit Chase Brown.
Yeah,
I don't think you can do that. At wide receiver, I don't see how you sit Jefferson. I don't see how you sit CD. At tight end, it would be Njoku if he plays. If not, I'm fine. You have a really great pivot option there with Jonnu. And then, oh my God, look at this flex spot, dude. Oh, it's a 6-team league. To me, I feel like Zach Charbonnet is the safest if he's the starter.
Yeah, I feel like in a 6-man league, I think you need to go upside. And I think every single team is stacked. So you either go with the player that is hopefully can get you that 20-plus bomb, or you just go with the safety depending on your options. I personally would go Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, and CD. That's where I would be leaning.
Oh,
So
okay, so you're
I
starting
agree with
Cup
you.
over Charbonnet.
Yeah, I would agree with you with the running backs and Kyron and Chase Brown, but wide receivers Justin Jefferson, Cooper Cup, and CeeDee Lamb.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look,
That's how it will go.
I can make a case for 7 players here. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Yeah, 7 players I can make a case for here.
Yeah.
So if you want to go Cooper Cup for the upside, then, you know, that's fair enough. I might lean Charbonnet if he's a starter, but you might not know that, so you might want to start Cooper Cup. And then obviously you put him in your wide receiver 2 spot because they play Friday night. What's up, Chip?
Appreciate you,
question
brother.
here from Chip. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, Devon Achane, James Conner, I see. And then at the wide receiver position, you're considering Marlon Harrison, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, with already starting Gary Wilson, Terry McLaurin. For me, this will still be Marlon Harrison Jr. I think we might see that a little bit differently. You let me know.
No? Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
they all have major question marks, but I'll go
Yeah,
Marv.
yeah. At the flex spot, I will go Devontae Adams. Or sorry, Jalen Waddle, excuse me. And at the flex, I will go Zach Charbonnet if Kenneth Walker is out, which most likely he's
Okay.
going to be. That's what I would do.
So you said Tony Pollard is what you said, or
No,
you said
no,
Waddle?
no. I said Waddle and Zach Charbonnet at the flex.
Okay. I definitely agree with Charbonnet if he's a starter, and if he's not, then Ken Walker, right? Like either way, it's the starting running back for the Seahawks.
Yeah, exactly.
That last spot, I have no strong conviction in between a Waddle, Smith, Ken Walker, Tony Pollard. Pollard, who do they play? I'm trying to remind myself. They play the Bengals.
Play the Bengals.
He's probably your safest floor. I think your highest upside is Waddle. So
Sure.
I think if you want a safe floor, you go Pollard. If you want a high upside, you go Waddle. That's a tough call, though, there, Chip. Good luck, my friend.
Yeah. Appreciate you. The next one here is from J Pack. J Pack 923, and it's loading for me, taking a while. It's okay. Reed, Squeaky Wheel versus Jameson Williams, Jaden Reed. Look, I'm still gonna go Jaden Reed. I think it also depends on what you need, right? Like at the moment, you can't really say that Jaden Reed is a safe floor, but he does have a high upside. JMO technically has the safest floor compared to what Jaden Reed has been giving you in the past couple weeks.
Say, but Jameson probably does have the safer floor here.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what you need. If you need a high upside, you go Jaden Reed. If you just need a safe floor in 9, maybe 10 points, JMO, it looks like he's been getting that for the past 5 weeks right now. So ever since he came back from that suspension,
there should be some squeaky wheel gets the grease action here for sure. I will say Jameson's very enticing because of that highest over under the year versus Buffalo. So, but I think Jaden Reed is still the answer there for me. It's a tough call though. It's a very tough call. HS Nichols at quarterback, they have Love and Herbert as options. This week I think I am gonna go Jordan Love. It's very close, but I am gonna lean Love there myself.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
At running back, if Charbonnet's a starter, it's Charbonnet.
Agreed.
At wide receiver, I am probably starting. Man, I think I'm. Yeah, I'm gonna go Adam Thielen here.
Okay.
There's just way more consistency. There's been way more upside.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm still gonna go Malik.
Yep.
At the tight end position, I'm gonna go T.J. Hawkinson.
Do we? Okay, T.J. Hawkinson. I mean, I'm gonna go Johnny Smith myself. Just the streak we're on right now. It's hard to walk away from that, I think. So that's where I live there. I mean, Hawkinson, I still think he's a great option. Don't get me wrong, but he's had like one good game in the past 4 games. Johnny Smith has been on fire for a while.
Well, yeah, look, I get it. I understand. I guess once again, high upside, safe floor. Johnny Smith will get that for you. if it wasn't for overtime, he gets none of those points. He drops a goose egg. Maybe it's a different conversation this week.
Sure.
But I get what you're saying. Like the streak does continue without overtime last week, so maybe it continues going into this week. At the flex position here, this is where I would go Adam Thielen for the safety. If you wanted to, if it's not Adam Thielen, then I would then go Jaden Reed, even though that's not safe. So.
Okay. So to me, if Isaac Herendo plays, this is Isaac over. I will put Isaac over Charbonnet in my RB2 spot. So that's how I would actually play this myself. So let me make that change. I put Isaac there again, assuming he plays. Charbonnet in the flex spot. If Isaac doesn't play, you put Charbonnet there. And I think at your flex, I mean, if Breece plays, it's hard not to play him against the Jags. If he doesn't, I think it'll be a split backfield, which will make me lean Malik Neighbors at that point.
Right. Okay. That's fair.
I did see WG in the chat. You know, he has his team review. WG, if you're with us, he says, can y'all knock out my team review since I'm here? Look, we can, but we try and, like, dedicate that Monday stream on our Dynasty channel for these Dynasty reviews. Let us know if you're okay with that. That's just kind of where we can give more time and effort to, like, these reviews for these Dynasty teams. I mean, we can definitely do it today, but just with the pure amount of questions that are coming in, Monday might be best if it works for you. But, of course, we can do it right now if you want as well. This is Monday is cool. Okay, no worries. Okay, yeah, that Monday stream we just completely dedicate to you guys for those reviews. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I'm Lauren, pretty sure you are. Sorry, and then we continue. I'm pretty sure you are subscribed to the Dynasty channel, but make sure you go subscribe over there and get the entering notifications on when we do go live.
Definitely is, yeah.
On Monday. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, just in case. Yeah. Anyways.
Lauren Smith making it hard with this one. Feel like Joe Brown, Juwan will carry me again with matchups, considering Chuba or Isaac as safe floor. Okay, so we got Joe Burrow. That's great. We've got Brown, Achane at wide receiver. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Well, you got a couple flex spots, so let's not make this too hard. Let's just say A.J. Brown for now. And then let's go to our flex. My goodness. Okay.
I think. Let me just triple check.
Chuba's your safest floor if you want to say floor.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. I don't know. The only thing I would change. So this is where I'll go. You start AJ Brown. You start Drake London. You start Chuba Hubbard. I would swap T Higgins over Juwan Jennings.
Okay, so you're saying to sit Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, I know it's great. Like, it's Juwan Jennings been doing great. T Higgins has been doing great. He only had one down game. I think we mentioned that last week or yesterday on that stream. They're playing the Titans. No L'Jarius Sneed, Jamar Chase, blah blah blah. I don't know. I think T Higgins kind of has a good bounce back. I mean,
so I think you're making valid points. I'm not going to sit Juwan Jennings myself, but I think you're making valid points. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm really challenging my rankings as I'm sitting here saying this, but I would find it really difficult to sit Juwan. If you guys remember, in week 3, he faced the Rams. He had 46 points. That was that day where he had 46 points. They had no CMC. They won't have CMC again. He had 3 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, it's crazy to say this, but I probably am starting Juwan Jennings over T. Higgins this week.
Okay.
And again, I think that's absolutely crazy to say, but it's probably what I would do. I would probably put London there in the flex. I think your safest floor is Herendo if he plays, but with him having an injury and you already having all these great options, you might as well play it safe with one of these wide receivers.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's tough to sit Juwan Jennings. I think it's tough to sit T. Higgins, so I think that's kind of where I'm at. That's the only switch, Lauren, I would do. I would swap T. Higgins for
every one of these players that he has,
Yeah.
So, or Lauren has.
Appreciate you though. Who's next here?
Our Dav's here.
I don't know if it's it's the website. Is yours? Is that happening to you? Might just be on my end.
No, that's okay. One quarterback, 12 team start 7. At quarterback, they've got Daniels and Bo. I love Bo, but I'm going to start Daniels there versus Saints. Chuba, Connor, Cup, Collins, TJ Hawkinson, and then on the bench, this is where I'm going to go Juwan Jennings again this week.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. That's a great lineup. All right, moving on. Murphy Owens here. Need help considering running back injuries and wide receivers available. So they're starting Lamar, which is fantastic. At running back, if Charbonnet is a starter, I am going to start him
Charbonnet. Agreed.
over everyone. And in my rankings right now on the Flock site right now, by the way, guys, we don't have that answer just yet. So I still have Ken Walker ranked, but that'll become more clear over the course of the week. I do believe Brian Robinson is the better start over these Jets.
Yeah, we might come back to these guys. In the flex spot potentially.
Saints are the second best matchup for your running backs. No Eckler. Sorry, go ahead with wide receiver here.
No, I agree. I'll go Brian Robinson at the wide receiver position. Great wide receivers.
Sutton for me, top. He's my wide receiver 7 on the week. He's just been one of the best wide receivers in like the last 8 weeks.
Yeah, I'm now thinking about what's gonna happen here. I'm gonna go Davante Adams
Over Sutton?
No, I'm going Davante Adams in the flex. I agree with Sutton.
Okay, in the flex.
Davante
okay,
Adams
right,
in the flex. There's a lot of great options. Rico is interesting, great matchup. Obviously, the Jets running back, great matchup as well. If I'm not mistaken, they play the Jags. What do you need? High upside, safe floor. And I think Davante Adams kind of gives you a little bit of that balance. He gives you the high upside, and he has been giving you that safe floor, which we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier in another question. So that's kind of where I would go right now.
Davante and Garrett scare me a little because one of them is probably going to have a good game. One of them might be just, a 10-pointer, and I don't think there's any rationale or rhyme or reason as to why one or the other might have the day, So I might lean Breece if he starts. If he doesn't, and Braylon and Isaiah Davis are splitting the backfield, I'll agree with you, Davante Adams there.
Okay.
But yeah, that is a very close one. All right, let's refresh here. I do think we have a couple more questions that have come in through the site. We do. Again, if you're out there watching this, we say this every stream, but in case you're brand new, the flow of our stream always goes as follows. If there are any questions on our website, that's where we'll go first. These people are supporting us, through the site, and we want to make sure to prioritize them. I put a link in the chat there in case you are looking for that link. If you don't have an account over there, you can get a free account with the promo code LAND, LAND. And yeah, once we're done here, we'll come over to YouTube. But Gly is next.
Gly, we appreciate you. Jay Daniels, Bijan, Josh Jacobs at the wide receiver position. A couple great wide receivers: Marvin Adams, DJ Calvin, Adam Thielen. I think for me, this one is DJ Moore and then Martin Harrison Jr. That's where I would go with the Trey McBride. At the flex, then if Zach Charbonnet is Kent Walker's not going to play, I'll go Zach Charbonnet there.
I'm going to agree with you on the flex with Charbonnet. But for me, this would not be Marvin. I would have Marvin last, I think, of all those options there.
Okay, that's fair.
With Davante and Ridley and Thielen. So we do view
Actually,
Marvin a little bit differently today.
No, you're right. I have Adams over Marvin.
Okay.
So that's the only thing I would switch. You're right. So Adams, DJ Moore, Adams, and then Zach Charbonnet for me. But I don't know if you would switch DJ.
Yeah. No, I agree with Sharbs.
Okay.
And DJ and all that. Now, if Charbonnet doesn't, start, I think, for me at least, I'm probably gonna go ahead and put Adam Thielen in there over Marvin personally. With how
I will go Marvin if Kenneth Walker starts. So that would be the difference.
All right,
which makes sense.
M. Reed here. Start sit question. Joe Burr, Chase Brown, Bijan, Nico, Jefferson. At tight end, you got great options here with, your Tucker Crafts, your Kate Ottens, your Sam Laportas, but they're all this same tier of tight end. I do lean Kraft over Laporta, over Otton, but I lean Laporta over Kraft because
Over
of the
Kraft,
high
okay.
over under they have. That
Agreed.
Lions, Bills game. It's I want to be a part of that if I can.
Yeah, I like that as well. Sam Laporta, and at the flex, a lot of names here. A lot of
Oh my
names.
gosh. This
Ramondre
week of
Steve-
streaming, the questions have been more difficult
The
than
name,
ever.
yeah, the names are coming out. Like all the crazy teams are coming out this week, which is,
Yeah. So
I guess,
I'll say this.
why were you second guessing? Why were you second guessing yourself now when you were making your lineups then without asking us a question?
I understand why
I
they're
love it.
honestly. I understand why they're second guessing themselves because look at their lineup. I would be asking the same question if I had this lineup. Like, how the hell do I set this thing? I think Jonathan Taylor is probably your safe floor. Then after that, I would start Neighbors over Marvin against the with Neighbors playing against the Ravens. And
Yeah.
oddly enough, I have a little more security in Tommy for some reason. So again, I think Taylor's your safety, and I think Neighbors is your upside. However you want to play it.
Yeah, I will go Neighbors.
Yeah, I'm fine with
That's
that too.
that's where I would go. Yeah.
All right. San Joe says win, and I'm in the playoffs. Oh wow, so you guys have playoffs starting week 16. Go ahead here.
Oh boy. Yeah. At the quarterback position, I don't think he filled this up correctly at the quarterback position. If you are here, Sanjo, just let us know who your quarterbacks are. Maybe you're in the chat, but
Yeah,
we can
you
answer
didn't
the
give
rest.
us any option there to choose from.
You're starting Alvin Kamara, you're starting Jahmyr Gibbs, and at the wide receiver position, which is Jackson, Mike Cooper, Cortland Sutton, Jawan. I mean, look, this for me, according to my rankings, this will be Mike and Cooper Cup. Now, is that an easy question? No, because I do want to start Jackson. I still want to start Cortland. This is a start 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this is input it wrong, which it might be wrong,
I have a feeling it is.
then it makes the decision just a little bit easier because then we will start Cortland Sutton as that seventh starter or that second wide receiver. Excuse me.
For me, Sutton he's my wide receiver 7 this week, so I'd start him over those other names. So it would be Mike and Sutton for me. But if I had to choose another name, I'm not sure I wouldn't say JSN though over Cup at this point.
Okay.
No, I'm still Cup. I had to double check my rankings. They're back to back. That's why it's a tough decision. Yeah. So again, if you can add another wide receiver for Badaki, it's Sutton. For me, it's Cup. We don't know who your quarterback is. You didn't give us an option, by the way. When you guys go to do these start sits, just so you know, like it's easier to have your team linked up. If you've never done that before, you can do that in the My Teams feature right here, where you can add like a Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo. Link your team, and then it adds your settings automatically. But when you go through, you have to hit if you know you're starting Joe Burrow, great. But then at every position, make sure you click that considering button so we know who you're considering at each position. It just makes it easier for you and for us. I'm gonna submit this, but I'm gonna give them a free start sit voucher in case
It is wrong, yeah.
I'd hate to answer the question for them, and it might be their first time, and then they didn't even get an answer about their quarterback. But we can't change it on our end, but I just want to give them an opportunity to come back.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's all the questions. Okay, that's all the non-review questions on the site. So let's come over to YouTube. If you're watching this and you do want to prioritize your question, don't worry, the website's still available. You can still do that. But we are over here on YouTube. We do have some super chats to get to. For example, Dino's the first one.
Yeah, appreciate you, Dino. It's a half PPR pick 3. Wide receiver in the flex. Jawan Jennings, Addison, Judy, McBride, Jonnu. Or flex in a tight end, excuse me. So it's just pick 3. So 1 wide receiver, 1 flex, and a tight end. Sure. Jonnu Smith, Jerry, Judy. That would be, I'll start Jonnu Smith. Sorry, that's not Jonnu Smith. That's Jerry. That's Jawan Jennings. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'll start Jawan Jennings,
Yeah.
Jerry, and McBride. Sorry.
Yes. I absolutely
Okay,
agree
cool.
with you. Yeah, we're on the same page there. I can't sit Jennings. I can't sit Judy right now. On the heaters are on right now. What's up, Macy?
Yeah.
Welcome in. What's up, Styles? Welcome in. Appreciate y'all. So consistent. Robert Cano is here. Says, got by thanks to your help. Love to see it. And he says, thank you. Drop ET for Sincere. Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I would. I mean, that offense is dog shit. Both offenses are dog shit, but at least Sincere is playing well, and at least he is the clear RB1 on the team. That's as simple as my logic is for it,
I hear you. I'm there with you. Daniel says, thank you for everything, bro. Happy holidays, 12 and 2. Hey, congratulations. We appreciate you. Thank you for the support.
Appreciate you. Very kind.
Yeah, love. And the last one here.
Happy holidays to you and yours. Appreciate everybody. This year it's the season of what's the season now?
What you asked for Christmas? Are you doing Christmas? I mean, obviously, but like, does your family does like Christmas gifts and stuff? I don't know.
Yeah.
We as all you get older, you don't really do stuff.
Yeah. No, we all kind of pick like names out of a hat for the family each year. So you only buy one gift, but
what'd you get? You say? Are they in the house right now?
Oh, okay. No, he's not here. I got my dad, and I got him an ice maker because he's like, there's certain. I'm kind of similar to him, but he's like on another level, where like anytime he drinks any liquids, he needs ice in it. And our fridge, if you guys don't know, like in Australia, most fridges don't have the ice makers in them. You have to like manually fill the trays. Don't know why. It's like in America, this sounds stupid because everybody has an ice maker in their fridge, right? But in Australia, it's not like that common. You have to like up tier your fridge to get it. And so anyway, he's a huge ice guy, and there's like never enough ice for him in our fridge. So I bought him this ice maker off Amazon, and like it just constantly churns out ice. It's like that little ice as well, like easy to chew on.
My brother-in-law is the exact same way. We got him an ice maker, I think about 2 years ago now for Christmas because he moved.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand. It just depends on the type of ice. Does it do like different ice?
Yeah, it has 2 different settings.
Okay.
It has 2 different settings. It's the same shape, but it's like a larger or small one.
Right. Okay.
I love like that Chick-fil-A ice.
And that's like what my brother-in-law. Yeah. He loves the crush ice, so we got him specifically a crush ice maker.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, that's cool.
Did you get anyone anything?
No, we buy presents for everyone.
Oh,
for us.
Right.
Yeah, so we have a limit. Like this year, it was everyone is like, okay. We asked people, "What's your budget this year?" This year was 150 per person.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I never know what to tell people because like all I want is money. All I want is money, and I just want to invest it. That's all.
I think all this stuff.
My life now.
All the stuff that I want, I feel like I'm just too techie. Like, like what can you get me? Actually, you can get me like a really expensive piece for my PC, or you can get me like another monitor.
This keyboard's $300. Are you down?
Yeah, and it's like, anyways, Akshay, 1 flex PPR and why DK Leak Waddle Bucky tough.
So this for me is Bucky if he plays, and why is because they've turned him into like the guy for them. Like he's been dominant, and it's a bad matchup, but we have seen this time and time again for these running backs in Tampa Bay. The offense funnels through them. They get plenty of targets. So I think they're like the safest, and I think they have the highest floor. If Bucky didn't play, I'd probably lean Malik because of the matchup against the Ravens.
That's exactly right. I'm there with you. I think the expectation is that the Giants are going to be down with no question, and they're just going to have to chuck the ball up, and that's the only reason why. And that's what I want. So appreciate you, Akshay.
Yeah, and that game where Tommy DeVito was starting, where you played the Bucks, the first half was rough. He didn't get a target. But if you took the second half and you doubled it, he would have been the best wide receiver in fantasy that week.
Well,
the second half, he had like 10 targets. I think it was 8 catches or something crazy like that for 70 yards. It's like, why couldn't you do that in both halves?
Yeah, I think it's good that Tommy went through that little phase because he was scared to throw the ball last time. He was trying to hold it and then run. Saying everyone's fucking scared to throw the ball in that offense because they probably just get roasted by Brian Dable.
And at this point, what do you have to do? You have nothing to lose, Tommy. You're not going to be a starting quarterback ever. Why not play your way into a backup role? Anyway, Frank is next.
I have Brees, but if I didn't play, but if he doesn't play, excuse me, play. Who would you go with? Braylon, Warren, Sincere, and star three. Okay, so
Okay.
for me, this would be Braylon Allen.
Yeah, I agree. The matchup's too good.
If Brees is not playing, and then star three, Terry, Judy, Higgins, Ladd. So I'm sitting one.
I think as much as I don't want to sit him, it'd probably be Judy, considering Tillman is back. I'm not necessarily worried about the Chiefs matchup. You know, they have some injuries to their secondary, but that's enough of a reason for me to say, okay, you know, when Tillman was there, he was the alpha. Judy looks like he's taken over and completely broken out, but like, could there be some limitations this week? But Ladd might not even play, so you might not have to go through that.
Yeah, and then that's where I was gonna go. If Ladd doesn't play, I think that's what you hope for. I'm thinking of game scripts. Oddly enough, I feel like the Commanders can be up really early and just run the ball, and so can technically the Bengals. As much as I want to start Terry and T, they have both the negative game script in favor of them, not in favor, I guess, not in favor of them getting the ball, right? It could be like a Mike Evans against the Giants, where all right, he gets a couple targets, gets big chunk yards, but that's all he gets. Yeah. If I had to choose one, I'll probably sit Terry, because I think they're just going to get bullied by the Commanders. I mean, who's going to start? Spencer Rattler or Jake Haener? No, thank you.
But, I mean, the Saints have been pretty competitive recently, though. I mean, they didn't lie down against the Rams, and the Rams just beat the Bills. I mean, they almost beat the Rams.
Yeah, but not with that. That was with Derek Carr, though.
Sure.
If I'm not mistaken.
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe I'm giga breaking it there, Frank.
Maybe,
but
I don't know.
That's how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got me in a little bit of a mind fuck here, because Terry was my highest ranked receiver.
Like, I like Terry. That's the thing. I want to start Terry. If I had to choose these guys, like, if you think about their matchup, you want to start Ladd if he plays against the Bucks. That's going to be a high-scoring game. Yeah. You want to start Jerry against the Chiefs, even with Cedric Tillman, in my opinion, because this should be a back-and-forth game. Sure. Then you have two wide receivers that you should start, but should easily be leading in their games.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I feel right now. But
I get it. Terry's a wide receiver 4 in the season. I can't sit him.
Yeah, which I get it.
I just can't sit him. You know, again, what was it? Am I saying that right? Yeah, wide receiver 5 on the season. Yeah, I just can't sit him, man. I wonder what he is from week 3 onwards, because if you guys remember, they were not really in sync until week 3 onwards. He and Jaden Daniels. It took them a while to really get on the same page. From week 3 onwards, Terry's a wide receiver 4. Yeah, I don't know. I can see the narratives for sure. But yeah, for me, I would be sitting Judy. Badaki is sitting Terry. We do have some questions on the website, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go over there real quick.
I think Brizzleton.
Yep.
Appreciate you, brother. He said, "What's good, fam? Pick 2 quarterbacks to start. Good luck this week." All right. So, well, looking at your starting lineup, you have the guys I would start in Brock Purdy and Bo Nix. I see Kyron Williams and Saquon Barkley. I see that no one else we would start there. At the wide receiver position, Nico Collins, Ladd McConkey. I think your starting lineup is perfect here. Jonnu Smith, I think that's where I would switch. I know Zach and I disagreed on that earlier. I would go TJ Hawkinson. But I'm not really fussed on who you start there. And at the flex, Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah, so I think this is a lineup that we like answering because we have confidence in our answers, you know. But yeah, I would still go Jonnu. You can make the case. Well, last week he could have had a nothing burger. Well, TJ Hawkinson has had one good game in the last 4 weeks. Jonnu's been one of the better tight ends in fantasy football in the past 5 or 6 weeks. So I'm gonna lean with him, but I think you can make a case either way. All right, appreciate you, Brizzleton. Is that it on the site?
No, we have another one.
Oh, okay.
Burnout 2K. He says most worried about flex squeaky wheel Debo. All right, let's have a look here. I'm going to start Justin Herbert over Patrick Mahomes.
Same. Yeah, Pat's been rough.
You have Kyron and James Conner, which is great. Garrett Wilson, and Terry, which is great. At the tight end position, you start Trey McBride. And then obviously you spoke about Deebo Samuel.
Sorry, I see one of my best childhood friends in the chat. I want to make sure I answer his question. But yes, so who are you leaning here? For me, I'm probably going to put Tyrone in there as like the safest floor.
That's where I would start Tyrone. It's either Tyrone or Waddle for me.
Sure,
I would start Waddle or Debo or J-Mo. I think if you need the safe floor, you go Tyrone. Waddle has had a couple bounce back games, which has been interesting.
My problem with these three, like J-Mo, Waddle, and Debo, is I don't know who outscores the other. And we've been saying for like 7 weeks, well, Debo, this could be the week he gets right. This could be the week he gets right. And,
we've been saying that for a long time.
The thing is, so A.J. Brown complains about targets last year, and he's dominant after that. He gets so many targets. I don't know that that's how Kyle Shanahan rolls. I don't think you're like, I'm not getting targets, and then Kyle Shanahan's like, okay, let's fix that. No, like, Kyle Shanahan's like, all right, I'll sit your ass and watch Jawan Jennings go off and be a superstar. You know, like, Kyle Shanahan will put you in the doghouse. So, I don't know. Like, again,
the thing is, like,
Debo can put 30 up on any week. I feel like Tracy is your safer floor with good upside. He had 10 targets last week. If you think about that for a second, let's think about how crazy that is. 10 targets last week for Tyrone Tracy. That's more than Debo's had in the past 2 weeks combined.
Yeah. I'm there with you, brother. I'm there with you.
It's a tough one. It's a toughie.
Yeah. So Tyrone or Waddle, however way you want to go. But I don't think we will start Deebo Samuel for sure. But we appreciate you. And I think that is it on the website.
That is it. I'm going to show a little bias here. This is one of my pretty much one of my best friends growing up. One of three in
Still
Kansas
best friends?
City. Yeah, I mean, every time we go back to Kansas City, I love these guys. It's good to see them.
Love that.
I know Daniel just had his little baby. Congratulations, you and Lucas both have kids now. That's crazy, man. But miss you guys. The amount of times we'd play like Madden in his house or college football. Like, I said I grew up playing college football the game. This is the guy I grew up playing it with.
Right. That's cool.
He says Garrett Wilson or Sutton this week. Much love. To me, I mean, look, Garrett Wilson, this whole offense is a bit strange. The good news for Wilson is the target share has been there consistently, right? 10 targets in back-to-back games. He had 8 targets in the week before that. But I just lean Sutton. Sutton's been the definition of consistency. He and Bo Nix kind of like on that rise together, if you will, to consistency. And if you look at the past 7 weeks alone, we're talking about Courtland Sutton as a top 10 wide receiver. He's averaging 17.2 PPR points per game. It should be a relatively competitive game. Again, in that span, Sutton's averaging, more points per game than Terry McLaurin and Nico Collins, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson. He's averaging more points per game than all those names. Mike Evans, A.J. Brown. So I'm aware he could bust on any week. You can go with your gut there, but I just, I think Sutton is, he's my wide receiver 7 this week. Tough to sit him.
Yeah, Sutton is a safer play. Obviously, Garrett Wilson is the name value with the quarterback with the name value. So I agree with Zach. You go Courtland Sutton with the safer floor, but I think both those guys can have the same outcome this week. So
when you add someone as a moderator, do you do standard or what is it? Like, what's the option?
I do standard.
Standard moderator? Okay, yeah. I'm going to add him as a moderator because he's one of my best mates growing up. All right. Akshay is the next super chat here.
Yeah, actually had a question. I left super chat question. Says, I'm assuming it says I'm leaning Waddle over Neighbors. I think that's the one because of right now my offensive matchup.
Yeah. Okay.
Waddle has been red hot. Leak is hurt. Why not Waddle?
Look,
fuck you down.
You can go Waddle there if look. Here's what I'll say. Like, and we try and say this often, but we do have people who come back and they're like, this guy told me to start this player and I was wrong. Ultimately, guys, we don't have a crystal ball. Like, there's a reason they play the game, right? Like, we have all the evidence. We have matchup information. We have weather information. We have opportunity share in offenses, and we can analyze all that. But again, there's a reason they play the game. All right. There's a reason that, Carolina, they say, well, there's a 14-point spread here, and Carolina in the past 2 weeks has made these games competitive, almost winning last week against the Eagles. Like, there's a reason they play the game. You can't always analyze everything and have a 100% hit rate. So based off of me taking my lens and just viewing both of these players, I think Neighbors has been far more consistent than Waddle. If you're looking at the entirety of the season, I like his matchup far more versus the Ravens. I don't see a scenario where they're not throwing it throughout the entire game. And ultimately, that's just where I lean. Both are in good spots. Both have good matchups. But who's going to disappear? If one of these guys disappear, I feel like Waddle is the name to disappear. But I could be wrong.
Yeah. I agree. I'm with you. I'll just back that, honestly. Just don't see it happening.
Yeah,
but we appreciate you, actually. Yeah. Jonathan Lee is next. He says 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. So pick 3. At the running back, let's just see who you have. You have Pacheco, Swift, and Braylon. If Breece Hall doesn't play, I'm going Braylon Allen.
Okay.
At the wide receiver position,
right. Yeah, I agree.
I'm going AJ Brown. So this would for me would be AJ Brown, Jennings, and Braylon Allen if Breece doesn't play. If Breece does play,
Swift.
Yeah, Swifty.
It's closey, but that's how I would rock with it too. Michael, what's up, man? He says, win your playoffs, and thanks for all you guys do. Appreciate you, man. Very, very kind of you. Yeah.
Love.
Dude, someone asked me in our DMs from, that service we used to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize this until I went through. Okay. Where was this DM from him? This is an all-time good year for me. I've never had a year like this. And I'm not saying this as if it's common and it happens every year, because it's definitely not. But this was by far, it's not even close, my best year in fantasy ever. Who asked that question? I'm just going to pick it up real quick. Okay, here it is. So, I'm in 6 redraft leagues. I made the playoffs in 6 leagues. So 100% of my leagues in redraft. I'm in 12 dynasty leagues. And I made the playoffs in 11 out of 12 dynasty leagues. So if you combine that, that's 18 leagues, and I'm in the playoffs in 17. Which, again, this doesn't ever happen. I guess you could technically, that one league where we drafted, the $10 quickie, I didn't make it in that one. So I guess that could technically make another one. But yeah, that's that's crazy. I've never had a year like that. It's been one of the best years ever.
Yeah, I made it. All my dynasty teams, I think I made it in 4 or 5 of the 12 that we had, and then the redrafts, I made it. I didn't make it in a $10 quickie. I didn't make it in 3, which is the $10 quickie, the Flock Fantasy, and the 2 quarterback league.
Michael says, what happened in that one league? The one league I didn't make it in, I was a clear rebuilder. I have the 101. This is the league I didn't make it in. We're called the McBooty Boys because we're McBooty. I mean, this is the lineup. Sure. Drake May, Spears, Achane, Vele, Minko. Yeah, we're very clearly a rebuilding team. I have 3 first-round picks. We bought Ayuk. We bought Olave. Penix is on the taxi. McCarthy's on the IR. And we've got a bunch of draft capital. So it was intentional to not make the playoffs in that league. But every other league I'm competing.
Yeah, no, it's good.
What's Danny has a super chat here. Says my bench.
Oh, there we go. And my bench, wide receivers, Mooney, Downs, tight ends. Thinking about adding Tillman and dropping 1 for week 16.
Okay. If Kyle Kater is your starting tight end, I guess you can't drop him, but he seems to be the least valuable of any of these names.
Yeah, that's where I would go. I definitely want Tillman on my team, but if you don't have another tight end, then you can't drop it.
Yeah, who is Harris at running back? Najee, right? No,
Najee
I mean
Harris. Yeah.
the only player you could drop for Tillman would be Calcaterra, but if you don't have another tight end, then you can't do that.
Yeah.
All right. We have a super chat here from Archive at Wall, who is from Canada. They say start 4. So let's start 4 of these names.
D Hop, Smith, Shakira, Adams, Brian Thomas.
I'm gonna say Adams and Shakir for sure. That's 2.
Yeah. I'm gonna go White if Bucky doesn't play.
I agree. If Bucky doesn't play, White. That's 3.
And then I'm gonna go. I think I might go D Hop. Either D Hop is between D Hop and Devonta Smith. I think both of these guys are interesting this week in the sense of we don't know what's going to happen in their matchup. The Eagles do have a tougher secondary matchup versus the Steelers. Are the Chiefs just going to be in a shootout with the Browns? I think that's kind of where I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm going to go, like we said, Shakir, Adams, White, and then for me, Devonta Smith. Very close between him and Brian Thomas. And in fact, if Rachaad White doesn't start, I would start Brian Thomas next. We had a super chat from Josh, but the message was deleted. So, Josh, if you're out there. Oh! This is right. He says my quarterbacks are Baker and Tua. I'd start Baker there then. This is that question from earlier where they didn't enter their quarterbacks.
Oh, sorry, my quarterbacks are Baker and Tua. Who you starting? You're starting Tua?
No, Baker.
Oh, okay. I'm starting Baker. Okay, good.
Yeah. But yeah, you got a voucher on those site. You can use it anytime as well.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, no more questions on the site. No more super chats, and we appreciate y'all for being here. We'll go ahead and end the stream here by answering 5 questions at random. We will be live tomorrow before Thursday Night Football. So if you want to reach us then, you can get your questions in early on the website. There's a pinned link, and no pressure. But if there are any questions, that's what we'll start when we go live tomorrow. Now, let's answer 5 questions at random here.
Go for it.
And let's start with, I always like to find someone whose name I don't recognize. I don't think I've heard from Zach Wave before. Says, what's up, guys? I've got some decent wide receivers, Hill, Neighbors, and Sutton at the flex. Bench has Addison, Thomas, Bucky. I think I've said it right. Maybe you'll have an opinion. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know who you're starting at running back over Bucky, but that would be the only thing I might change if, I'm not going to change your wide receivers at all. But if you're starting a Pacheco at running back, I'd rather put Bucky in there, for example. But outside of that, it's a pretty good lineup.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. Maddie. Lads, please. Gotta be from the UK. If we're saying lads, I'm assuming.
Maybe. Some people say.
Definitely not an American, if I had to guess. Last, please pick flex Juwan and Connor. I think Connor's your safer floor against the Patriots. I think Juwan's got really fun upside. So I think, looking at your matchup, do you want that safety or that upside? I don't think Connor busts. Of course he could.
Yeah, you want Connor.
But,
oh, Lord, I'm about to bust.
Yeah,
I'll go James Conner there with you. It just feels a lot safer.
Yeah, I would say as far as Amon-Ra goes, you can't sit Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
I know people are, a little bit disappointed by him, but it's kind of funny because isn't he still like a top, like he's the wide receiver 3 on the season. I get why people are disappointed because they've come in spurts. But yeah, you can't sit him in my opinion. Especially not in the highest over-under of the year. Like he should have a huge game.
And I think you have to realize, sorry, really quick, that it's been like a down year for wide receivers outside of one, and that's Jamar Chase. I think last year we saw 3 or 4 names averaging over 20 plus points.
Yep.
this year it's only one, and that's Jamar Chase.
Yep.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Only one, and it's Jamar Chase. Last year you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 20 points per game. My flock team is built around running backs, so it's been a decent year. All right, question 3. Let's go to Shamrock says, "What's your flock team, Zach?" Well, that's an easy answer. My flock team is like, what's the team name, or like, what's the team look like?
I think what's the team look like?
This is the squad here. We're not playing this week. We're on a bye. But we've got Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, Neighbors, Terry, McBride, Evans, Taylor, McLaughlin, and then we've got some players on the bench. Unfortunately, Olave, I don't think he's going to come back. But McCormick's a kind of like break glass option. All right. So let's see here. Two more questions. Let's go. Ballram says 2 wide receivers and a flex. Sutton, Higgins, and Ladd for me. I still love Judy, but with Tillman back, I just feel better about those other names. But there's a chance Ladd doesn't play, and your answer is made for you.
Yeah, 2 wide receivers in effect. God, this is really similar to what we had. I think this is the exact same question.
Yeah, on the website.
On the website, I don't know if this is the same person or maybe just a different person. I said I would sit. Oh no, it's not. The difference was Terry. So yeah. Then this would, for me, this would be Higgins.
Okay.
Based off of that narrative that I kind of broke down last time.
Yeah. All right, last question of the day. Let's go Motive, who says Knicks, Goff, or Tua. I'm not going to sit Bo Nix personally.
Yeah. You get Bo Nix. I know you have a Monroe. You probably want the stack as well. I think Bo Nix has a favorable matchup against the Colts this week. They play at home, if I'm not mistaken, as well. I think they're just going to be airing it out.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Appreciate you guys. Again, we'll be live tomorrow before the games if you want to get some questions in. We appreciate you. We'll see you soon. All love.
Love.